Hi, everybody. Can you hear me clearly? Okay, good. I get a little exciting because first time to go on Zoom and good to see New Yorker uh, again after I left New York for 40 years ago. Okay, before we start practicing meditation, let me tell you two things. Maybe you already know that. First of all, meditation is a kind of art. We call the art of doing nothing. Most of arts require a lot of skill. So the art of doing nothing also require a skill also. Number two, the pathway of meditation is more or less the same as we going to sleep. So we relax our body, be comfortable, be relaxed, be at ease. And then when our mind getting still to a certain point, which is intersection of the way we go to sleep. So we have two ways to go: falling asleep and be mindful, be awake, and keep going on our meditation. That's two things I want to tell you before we start practicing meditation. You may already know that. Okay, so let's start practicing meditation now. If you sit on the floor, you can have your right leg on top of your left one and put your right hand on top of your left one. If you sit on the chair or sofa, you can have your leg down to the floor and start relax all part of the body. We start relaxing from our head, our forehead, your cheeks, your neck, and the muscle across your shoulders. Relax the muscle in your arms, your hands, down to your fingertips. Relax your back, the muscle in your back, your belly, your hips, your thighs, your legs, down to the tips of your toes. Relax gently all parts of the body. Don't let anywhere tense. If you have somewhere tense, your mind will be concentrate on that spot. So we gotta free our mind by relax all parts of the body. Take a couple deep breaths and follow your inhale down to the bottom of your lungs. So when we breathe out, let all stress, anxiety, and anger out with the with breathe out. So when you breathe in, let all the good things, happiness, relaxation, serenity, with your breathe in. Imagine that we have no organs inside our trunk, no lungs, no heart, no liver, no stomach. It's hollow inside our body. Even no brain to think of something. It's hollow inside. And pretending that all your skin are crystal. So we can look through our skin and see nothing inside our body. pretending that we sit alone on top of the hill with the morning breeze. And we feel that the sky is like a crystal that cover you alone in this world. You can breathe fresh air. On top of the hill. Or you can imagine that you taking shower. Let the shower go through your head, your ear, your shoulder, your body, your hand, down to your leg, to your toes. If anything pop up in your mind, don't follow it. Let it go, let it fly away like a bird. Particularly bad experience when your mind getting still. When your mind getting still, we tend to recall past experience. Don't follow your thought. When it recalls something, let them fly away. Be like you sitting in the bus and the bus running along the road. When you look out the window, you see rice field, you see mountain, you see birds, you see horse. Just see and let go, see and let go. Don't analyze it. Don't think that, oh, how high is the mountain? What kind of horse that you see? Don't think, don't follow your thought. Don't analyze it. Just see and let go, see and let go, see and let go. Because When your mind getting still, it's a lot of thoughts will coming up. When your mind getting still, your physical mouth saying nothing, but your mind still want to say something. So let him say, Samma Alahang, Samma Alahang, Samma Alahang, Samma Alahang. Keep reciting the mantra. During the meditation, what we have to do is to be mindful, to be awake. But sometimes you feel sleepy. Don't worry much about that. If your body gets tired and it falling asleep, let it sleep. It will take a couple of minutes. But when you wake up, come back again. Be mindful. Be awake. Start relaxing all part of your body. Don't follow your thought. Get rid of your thoughts one by one, one by one. If you don't follow your thought, it just fly like a bird. See, if we imagine that there is nothing, there is no organ inside our body. So we don't have heart, don't have liver, stomach, and we don't have brain to think of something. It will help. Be awake, be mindful, and a lot of loving kindness, compassion, and generosity. It helps to make your mind easily still. If you have some bad experience pop up, forgive them. Rule number one is relax. Still your mind, relax. Gently, relax all part of the body. Imagine like our mobile phone. We don't have to know how the mobile signal go through the mobile stations around us. We don't have to know that. The only thing is to have a mobile and turn it on. It works automatically. In meditation, you don't have to know how your minds go. We don't have to know the path of your mind. Because as I told you, it's art of doing nothing. From the very start up to attaining the enlightenment, we don't have to do anything. Don't expect to see or to hear, to know anything. The art of doing nothing, the art of seeing nothing, the art of saying nothing, the art of think of nothing. That's all you have to do. You just get yourself ready to let the thing goes. Something happen, let it happen automatically. Don't force it. Don't expect to hear or to see anything, or don't expect any result. Just stay still, relax, be comfortable, think of nothing. Keep doing that. To keep doing consistently. It's like a mobile. You have to have your battery charged. Whenever it's running out. This is the consistency. Be relaxed, be awake, be mindful, full of loving kindness, compassion, generosity, and sympathy joy. We have come closer to the end of the meditation session. After my blessing in Pali, then we can slowly open our eyes. So share your merits that you have accumulated for many lifetimes. Share that to all your friends, your family members, your customer, your colleague, and all human beings and animals. Particularly the one you hate. Share that merits to them in order to forgive each other easily.สัพเพพุทธาภลปัตตาปัจเจกานันจะยังพลังอรหันตานันจะเตเทนะลักขังคันธามิสัพพิโสสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสัทธาโสติภวันตุเตNow we can slowly open our eyes. Okay, how was it? Good?
Too relaxing to talk now.
Very good. Okay. Next will be what? To share wisdom, right? Okay. Our topic today is what if we know how the mind works. My name Prachayanon Kitjananto. Okay. Okay. As we know that we have body and mind. Body is like a puppet, and the mind is like the puppeteer that pull the string, and the body will work. The mind wants to do something. The mind will tell the brain, and the brain will control our body to do something. So the mind is like a puppeteer of the brain, and the brain is like a puppeteer of the body. The component of human being. We have body and we have mind. So our brain control every part of the body. And physically sense through our 5 senses. Our eyes, our ear, our nose, our tongue, our feeling of touching. Then the brain will gather all information and send to the mind. So the image we see, the sound or the song that we hear, the smell, the taste, and the feeling of touching will be perceived and construct the image in the mind's level, not at the brain's level.
He looks like Harry.
Probably the signal that the brain sends to the mind It's like a digital signal, and the mind will get those information and construct the image, the sound, the smell, the taste, the feeling of touching. Then the mind make decision, think and make decision, then command the brain to react. For example, if somebody come to you and slap in your face, you see him walking in, and you hear of being slapped, and you get hurt. Those information, the brain will gather all information and send to the mind. The mind will, after perceive then make decision. The mind may say, hey, hit it back, or command the brain to react, to hit it back. Or the mind may say, oh, let him go. Just forgive them. See, the mind will be the one who react, command the brain to react. What happens if we have the body without the mind? What happens if we have the body without the mind? Maybe two ways. One way is like a tree. We will be like a tree. The tree can grow, but can do anything more. Or the dead body or corpse, like a corpse. And what happens if we have only the mind, but we don't have the body? So normally the mind will find something to take possession, somebody, some human being, some animal to take possession. But in between leaving one body to find another body, so it's going to be, wandering mind without the body. Or sometimes we call ghost. See the function of the mind. The function of the mind. Number one, to sense or to perceive. See the sense to your eyes, to your ear, to your nose, to your tongue, to your feeling of touching. And the body will send, the brain will gather those information and send to the mind. That's one function of the mind, to perceive and to construct, construct the image, the sound, because the signal is probably like a digital signal from the brain. Number two, to memorize and retrieve. Whatever the brain sends to the mind will keep in the mind's storage. The mind storage work like a hard disk or sent to the cloud. Storage maybe in the cloud somewhere. And whenever we need those information that we retrieve from the memory or retrieve from the cloud, for example, a guy that we used to know, that when we meet again, how to recognize his face is to recall the information of this guy's face, and compare the information to recognize that. Number three, to think. We try to develop the way we think. Brainstorming, research, seminar, try everywhere to develop our think. But unfortunately, in both the West and the East, in educational system, we teach only three functions of the mind. We teach only three functions of the mind: to sense, to perceive, to memorize and retrieve, to think. So to enter to the fourth function of the mind is very important. To enter to the fourth function of the mind, we have to stop those three functions first. See, when we practice meditation, we gotta stop sensing. We gotta stop memorize and recall. And very important is to stop thinking, eliminate all thoughts. The fourth function is we call supreme knowledge or supreme wisdom. The information, all truth, all facts are stored in somewhere in the cloud, maybe somewhere in a certain frequency or a certain dimension. That's all truth. It's not somebody's idea. It's not somebody's theory. It's truth. For example, 2,600 years ago, the Buddha said, we have multi-universe. Imagine that 2,600 years ago, if somebody say, oh, we have multi-universe, it's going to be ridiculous, because by that time we believe that our earth is flat, right? And the moon, the sun, the star revolve around that flat earth. If somebody say, oh, we have multi-universe, nobody, almost nobody can accept that. Because the one who attained the enlightenment can tune his mind up to a certain level, certain dimension, certain frequency, certain cloud maybe. If we tune our mind up to that level, we can access all truth. This is we call supreme wisdom or supreme knowledge. The nature of the mind, traveling alone, true. Two people sleep in the same bed and holding each other's hand and say, let's go dreaming together. Can they do that? No. Even the moment that you fall asleep are different. How can you holding each other's hand and go dreaming together? They may meet each other along the way in the dream, but not right from the start. The mind travels faster than the speed of light. The light travel from the sun to the earth take 8 minutes something. If a guy walk from this corner of the room to that corner of the room with the speed of light, how much time he spent? 0 second. Because, the speed of light. The mind takes possession of a body. When did our mind take possession of our body? Since we were born? No, before that. Since you are a sperm, 1 million of sperm try to get into one egg. Do you think that the fattest sperm or the strongest sperm can get into that egg? The fattest one may be already passed by. The strongest one may be yet to come. Gonna be that guy, the guy that the mind take possession. That guy say, only me can get into that egg. And the egg say, no other guy except that guy. Except twin, they come together and get into the egg together. Be wherever the thoughts are. Whatever you think of, your mind is there because it travels faster than the speed of light. You think of someone, your mind is there. You think of your family member, your mind is there. You think of Jupiter, your mind is there. You think of Mars, your mind is there. That's why in practicing meditation, we gotta get rid of our thoughts, because whenever the thought pop up, your mind is there and travel, wandering around with your thought. If you cannot control your mind, you're gonna be follow your thought, analyze everything that the thought pop up. The real enemy of the body is like a bacteria, virus, but the real enemy of your mind is defilement. See, the defilement control your mind. Your mind control your brain. Your brain control your body. See, it's something like that. But the defilement is working on top of everything. Try to force you, try to cover you, try to penetrate, try to lead, try to alert your mind. Everything. The real enemy of our mind are defilement. We have three categories of defilement. Number one is greed and lust. We have our need and we have our wants beyond our need. What we want beyond our need is greed. What happens if we expect to have something and we have it? If we have it, we expect more. If we don't have it, we get annoyed, hatred, and anger. If we don't get what we want, we get angry, we get annoyed, hatred, anger, revenge. To take care of this annoy, hatred, anger, and revenge is to forgive. To take care of the first one, the greed category, is to give. To give. And giving without expect anything in return. If we give something away and expect something in return, what do you call that? Investment, right? Investment. You expect 5% in return in investment. If you get 5%, You need, oh, I should have 10% back. If we have 10%, we need more and more. Greed always need more and more. So try it, that if you can give without expect anything in return, what do you get from that? Happiness. You will be happy. If you rejoice in doing that, you get more and more. The third category is delusion. Delusion, the state of not using knowledge. Delusion, the state of not using knowledge, stimulated by like envy, jealousy, rivalry, illusion, deceit, trick, whatever. And I will show you one example of delusion. Prejudice. Prejudice, the stimulus for delusion. We have 4 kinds of prejudice. Prejudice of like, prejudice of like, prejudice of dislike, prejudice of fear, and prejudice of being fools. Let me show you some example. When you're looking for a new car, you go shopping, gather the strong point and weak point of each brand, strong point and weak point of each brand. And when you get it, when you make decision, what's the ground of making decision? When you make decision what you like, the brand you like. Probably you already made decision before when shopping because you like this brand. But why you try to gather information for many brands of the car? Because when your friend asks you, how come you choose this brand? So you have some information to talk about that. Along the way that you went shopping, the brand B, you have quarrel with the salesman. So you come back and say, I don't choose brand B, not because of the quality of the car, but because you have quarrel with the salesman. This is prejudice of dislike. That guy that looking for the new car, he go to his dad, Dad, buy me a new car. Dad say, what would you like? I like brand A. Dad say, why don't you choose brand B? No, after discussion for a while, Dad say, okay, you choose brand A, you pay for yourself. If you choose brand B, I pay for you. What's your decision making? Okay, brand B. Okay, brand B, because that's prejudice of fear. The fourth one, prejudice of being fools. One friend come to you and say, don't go to that restaurant. It's very expensive. The second friend come to you, don't go to that restaurant, the same restaurant. The waiter and waitress are very aggressive. The third one, also your friend come to you and say, don't go to that restaurant, the kitchen is very filthy. Have you ever been there? No. Are you going to prove that word? No. But you believe that. After believing for a while, you keep telling yourself, I believe, I believe. And then you tell other people what you have been told. Have you ever been there? No. Are you going to prove that? No. But how can you tell other people what you have been told without proving? They are not stupid. They are probably well educated. To choose without proving. What if we know how the mind works? We know that those devil, those defilements control our mind, penetrate to our thought, cover our attitude, and allow to set our passion. By pulling the string of our mind. So our mind is like a puppet of the defilement. And then the mind is the puppeteer to pull the string of our brain, and our brain control our body, pulling, something like that. Now we know that who runs our mind, who runs our thought. What would we do with those defilements? It's not easy. I know it's not easy because we get used to that. We have been doing that since we were young, and keep telling that this is good, this is good, even it's evil thing. We keep telling ourselves. We keep telling ourselves, not because of the mind create that, but because of the devil, the defilement control our mind. We know that. How can we do that to take care of, to cope with those? Find some scissors and cut the string, right? Then you are free from the defilement. When you are free from defilement, you can do everything. You will be easy to get your mind still while you practice meditation, you will be you can have loving kindness by giving away something without expecting anything in return. You can forgive something to someone. You can prove before you believe. So get rid of those defilements. Easy, but not easy to do that. I know. But you know the old concept. Try to conquer the defilement, the devil.